Hello, hello. My name is Sarah, and I'm with Off the Beaten Path Consulting. I am an HR fixer, and today we're here for my show, HR SOS Navigating the Chaos, where we talk a little bit about HR and building businesses and in growing in the way that your company needs to grow and not the way that everyone tells you should. Now, while I talk, you'll see in the bottom corner there that there's a painting happening. That is me painting also, because sometimes, every once in a while, HR topics can be boring. So I give you a little bit of an entertainment over there on the side so that you can watch me and listen to me and do a little bit of everything, and hopefully it's entertaining. Today, though, I'm going to start out with it is a Saturday, and I am drinking tea and having a very slow morning because sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes you need to take a beat back and say, am I truly taking care of myself and my business in the right way? So this morning I had a few things I had to do. So I went and, made sure those things were submitted, some emails I had been avoiding all week and doing a few things like that. And then I sat down and worked with a couple of people virtually on some things for Creative Spirit, which is the channel that this show was on. It is Creative Spirit, and it can be found on Roku and Fire TV. And if you're watching me, you know that. But there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes. It's very interesting to be a part of building a television channel, the things that go into it, the things that it takes to, get everything from bills paid to people on the TV channel, getting advertising, all of that fun stuff. It takes a lot to happen. But the owners of this channel are Jen and Jeanette, and they are amazing. And one of the things that they decided to do was send little gifts. And I am going to open it while I am sitting here with you. So as you can see, it's cute little packaging, and it comes out like this. And I feel like I'm on one of those YouTube channels where people kids unbox their Christmas presents or something. And it comes all cute in a little pouch. Look at that, a little pink pouch. And inside of the pink pouch, again, grab the little thing here. And it comes out super cute. And I'm going to unwrap it down here just because I'm not overly coordinated. I'm afraid I will drop it. So I'm going to take off all the little paper. And what it is a lovely little ornament. Can you see? Oh, there we go. I had to get up close enough. It has the Creative Spirit logo on it, and it's on a wonderfully cute piece of wood. And I am going to be hanging this right here so that I can look at it. Oh, whoops. Well, if you didn't just notice that, there was a technical difficulty. As I was reaching around to hang my new ornament, I shut everything off and unplugged my camera. Well, that took talent, but we are back, and the ornament is super cute. I showed it up there on the camera, and I want to thank Jeanette for making that, and for Jen and Jeanette for giving me this opportunity to be on the channel and to help with things and to help build things. The idea of this channel is to help creative people build businesses around their creations and to help people bridge those gaps between hobby and a business, right? We have so many people in our lives that tell us that our hobbies, the painting that you see in the bottom corner, the hobbies that we have can't turn into businesses. And we are looking at providing this platform to make sure that people can step out of those toxic conversations with people in their lives and within your head. A lot of times our biggest negative thoughts are from our own head, right? They don't come from external, they come from us. We second guess ourselves. And so having this opportunity where you can see creative people being successful, growing a business, taking their passion projects into an income makes all the difference in changing those thoughts in your head. Now, over here, I have my notes for the show. So sometimes I look over to the left because for me, I am sometimes not able to remember everything I want to talk about. And so I always keep some notes over here. So with the negative thoughts in your head, right? One of the ways to boost yourself up is to actually read through your testimonials and your reviews in your marketing. Now, if you're saying, I don't have any testimonials, I don't have any reviews, that is because you have not given people the opportunity to do that for you. If you are a creator and you have sent your creations off to someone, you should give them an opportunity to give you feedback. The easiest way is getting the link from your Google reviews for your business. If you haven't set up your Google business yet, you can create a simple form that you just get people's feedback from. It can be anonymous, it can, and you can do that with your regular Gmail account using Google Forms. And so that's an easy thing. If you search, how do I use Google Forms? There's about 1 million YouTube videos out there that'll show you. But you can always reach out to people in your life to see if one of them can walk you through that process. And you can always grab time on my calendar if it's something that you would want off the beaten path consulting to help you build. But using your testimonials and your reviews can truly make a difference in how you view yourself. And I am going to open up my reviews and I'm just going to read you one or two that, it makes me feel good to know that this is how people view, right? Sarah is a true professional. She is more than willing to help anyone that crosses her path. She is so genuine and transparent with her approach. Highly recommend. That makes me feel good every time I read it, right? It's like, okay, if I can make that person feel that way, then I can make a lot of people feel that way. And by asking for reviews and recommendations, you give people that opportunity to give you that feedback. A lot of times people don't think about doing it, unless something bad happens, unless you ask, right? People that are asking for a review, more than likely, that you're going to get a good one because you're asking it from people that you're like, I made this. I sent them amazing quilt, an amazing crocheted blanket, an amazing crocheted, beanie hat, something like that, which, by the way, I will have to show you some of the hats that I make. I'm getting ready to make my new winter hat for this year. I kind of make a new one every year. I'm going to have to remember to do that on one of these shows to show you guys what I'm making. But every time you send that off and you're proud of it, make sure you put a little card on there that says, please go to this website, that form you created or that QR code that you created for that. You can then ask them, a little card that says, please give a feedback if you could. It will really help my business. And I know that you will get those too. And it helps take those thoughts, those negative thoughts in your head and convert them to amazing things. Okay. So another one is, Sarah is an authentic businesswoman. She is supportive and a valuable asset. I love being authentic, right? I love knowing that who you see on here, the person that apparently can't hang something up without turning off her camera, is the same person you're going to see if we meet one-on-one. Right? You're not going to see a different person because I want to bring my true self to the table because that helps people work with you better and they know what to expect, right? And in a sense, right, if you're building a business from a craft perspective, a creative perspective, right, you're putting your whole self into that creation and you want to make sure that people see your real self, your true self. And I think that by building your reviews and your recommendations and those testimonials, then you can start taking those negative thoughts and throwing them away. And this is also about managing your online reputation. So your online reputation is what happens when we've all heard about those Yelps, right? The Yelps where people are like, oh, this is the worst restaurant ever, right? And you want to limit the negative. So I don't think any of you will get negative. I mean, you're sending off creative things, but if you did, the more positive ones that you have, they definitely shed light that the one negative or the 2, 3, 4 small amount of negative that you get will be overshadowed. Is it overshadowed? No, it'd be shed light on, because the good sheds light. The shadow will be diminished. And if you want to check that out, look on Yelp. It's yelp.com, and it's mainly restaurants and stores and things, but you'll see that even the best of the best stores are, still getting a negative review or testimonial every once in a while. But the way they combat that is because there's a ton of positive ones. Except there's this one restaurant, and I want to find it. I'm going to. So if anybody watches this and knows where the restaurant is, there's one restaurant that encourages people to write bad reviews on Yelp. So it's super funny. It's the opposite. They're a really great restaurant, but they encourage people to leave negative ones on there so that it's actually noticeable, and they use that in their marketing. It's kind of funny. But managing your online reputation is part of that. It's making sure that the testimonials are positive, and that you're asking the people that you know are going to give you good reviews. And that's not manipulating the data. It isn't. It's just making sure that the positivity gets out there, as well as any possible negativity. Again, you may never get a negative review or a negative testimonial. But the more positive, the more people are going to notice your business. And when they notice your business, and I feel like I've talked about this about 82 times in the last 4 or 5 videos, but it's about branding, okay? Your business should have good branding, positive branding, the same color branding, the same logo branding, no matter where you are. So if you are using, look at mine. So here, so my logo is up at the top. I'm going to probably get this wrong, but it's here, and you can see it here on the TV, and you can see it here in HRSOS. I use the same colors, a variance of where the colors go. So like in my logo, right, the OTBP is blue, and then the path is lime green, and so on and so forth. Then HRSOS is in blue, and then Navigating the Chaos is in lime green. And I do have a flipped version of my logo so that everything is lighter colors, and then it can go on a blue background, because if I put that logo on a blue background, the OTBP disappears. But my logo no matter where you see it, because it's the same color, it's the same style, and it never fluctuates from that. You don't want to all of a sudden be adding pink if it's not October, right? So you want to make sure that that branding is what people are going to see, because if they're seeing your reviews and testimonials start happening, because I know each one of you are going to go create that free form if you don't know how to do anything else, or set up your Google business to get your review link. Each one of you are going to do that as you watch this. And by doing that, you're going to get more people looking at your website, more people looking at your socials. And if your colors and your branding aren't consistent, people aren't going to know it's you, or they may not trust the brand. They may be like, oh, these people are interesting, right? Because they're not using the same colors. They're green over here and they're green over there. One's sage, one's hunter. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it really does make a difference. I want you to think, if you were driving by McDonald's and all of a sudden all the golden arches were randomly different colors at every McDonald's, it might be cool for a hot minute, but you'd still be like, what crazy person started doing this, right? And especially if it wasn't purposeful and they weren't changing it back. Again, pink for October is one thing, but changing your colors randomly overall is not good for your branding across platforms. And one of the things that I want to discuss about your branding is collaboration across platforms or with other businesses. I need to grab a drink here real quick. So if you are, if you make blankets and you are like, I love these blankets. People love these blankets. They're buying a lot, and I'm looking for somebody to collaborate with or do a cross promotion. Blankets coming into fall and Christmas are really good for, cuddling on the couch. So matching your blanket and doing a cross promotion with somebody who does, clay mugs. You could definitely put together a basket or a, buy this from me and get a 10% discount on your mugs, right? Something to this effect, or co-hosting events where you both go live at the same time on the Creative Spirit channel. And you can say, look, how these match, right? You can get cups from us that are, fall themed or Christmas themed or whatever themed, and you can get a blanket to go with it if you order today. And I'm just making this stuff up as I go along, but collaborations can truly help build your brand and get your brand into different areas, different venues, different eyes on your brand. And the easiest way to do that is to match with people that kind of match with your brand, right? I do HR fixing and business strategy. Like doing a live session with somebody who crochets blankets, we wouldn't necessarily cross promote, but we could definitely talk about how both are small businesses, how we built them, how the differences work between those two different startup concepts. There's a lot of ways to collaborate that aren't just product and product also. So think about it like that, and make sure that you look at opportunities and look at those possibilities when working with other people. All righty. So we talked a lot about testimonials and reviews. And we talked a little bit about, branding and collaborating with people. But one of the biggest mistakes that I think small businesses make and, brand new entrepreneurs make is they start out by copying competitors. They look at what other people are doing, and instead of trying to mold that to themselves, they're like, okay, I'm going to do it exactly the way they did it. And I just realized I put my glasses on and I can't see the screen anymore. So I want you to look at your competitors, look at what other people are doing for ideas on how to do it on your own. And I'll give an example of this. Just last evening, we were talking about something we want to do in the future. And one of the people on the call said, I want you to look at this TikTok channel, right? This person's TikTok. Go look at it. And I want to do something like that, but I want to do it X, Y, Z. So they took the idea and said, I love how she does it, right? How she is making this work. And I want to apply that to working with my creative path and how my storytelling works. And that's what you want to do. You want to say, I like what that is, right? I love the dots on this coffee mug, right? Well, it's a tea mug because there's tea in it, but I love the dots on here. But I'm not going to take a picture of it and try to recreate those dots specifically. I'm going to say, well, the next time I go to paint a mug, I am going to paint dots on the mug, and I'm going to do it in my way because I think those dots look cool. So taking ideas from people and molding them into your own is perfectly fine. Taking ideas from people and copying it is not okay. So make sure that there is a hard line between that, right? So make sure that you're taking ideas and applying them, not just, doing exact replicas of something. And I don't even mean copying someone's design purposely, like I talked about the mug, but even when you're like, I follow somebody and they talked about this yesterday, so you post a exact post of that or super similar today. it's still stealing from someone, and you want to just be very careful with that. So you want to make sure you're looking at your own things and just applying what you're learning from all of the different areas that you are in on socials and websites and even this channel. Then, with this same concept of posting and creating and all of that, people want to hear your voice, right? And so by using other people's ideas and applying it to your own voice, you make sure that they're hearing you. And I know you're like, well, not you, but some of you out there are like, but I create something. I'm creating a blanket, I'm creating a widget, I'm creating a pen. I don't have a voice in my product. You still do. Everyone has a voice, and your voice is being shown through the details, your your creativity, but also your voice in your writing on your social media, your voice on your website, your voice on how you thank people and interact with people during the sale. That is what we're talking about. And earlier on this show, we talked about authenticity, right? You should be yourself no matter what platform you're on, right? Don't try to be overly professional if that's not you. Don't try to sound like you're a 20-year-old if that's not you, right? Be who you are and show who you are on any media that you happen to be on. Okay. And that comes with good storytelling. People want to hear your story. They want to hear the story of the thing you're creating, the business, the widget, the idea that you're creating. They want to hear your story. They don't necessarily want to hear someone else's story, right? They want to hear yours. And your story is what is going to make them buy from you. They may love your blanket, sure, but your story is going to have them talk to other people about your blanket. They're going to share with their family the wonderful person that made that for them, right? So that storytelling that you give, the personality that you portray, is what people are going to get sucked in by and want to purchase more or want to share additional information with other people. So by making sure that your story is similar across all platforms, so everything from your website about you section to the person that you show on social media, you should be you and you always. All right, so we're going to change the topic here a little bit because I just talked for 22 minutes on that topic. And unfortunately, I don't have any other topics listed. I must have talked too fast or not talked enough or something. So we're going to change to a little bit of me personally, some of the experiences I've had, and to talk a little bit about how you deal with employees and working with partners and all of that. So one of the things that I have learned over the course of time is that bringing on your first employee, or as a manager managing somebody for the first time, can be absolutely stressful and crazy. And I know as a small business, as an entrepreneur, you're going to make that decision to hire a part-time person or even a full-time person to help you out when the time comes. And I look forward to having that be for all of you, because that means you're so successful, you can't handle it on your own. Okay, so it's a wonderful place to be. And managing somebody for the first time, though, can be crazy. And so we're going to talk about making sure that you have an agreement. If you don't go through Upwork, where it forces you to kind of have an agreement and pay them through Upwork, or Fiverr's kind of the same way. There's a bunch of others. But if you decide to hire somebody directly as a 1099 contractor, even then you should have an agreement that details what they are supposed to do, what their limitations are, and any consequences, for lack of better terms. And that's where you make sure that they know if any of the major rules of the company, which should be in a policy handbook, are broken, that they can be written up, and there is the potential of being fired. There should never be an idea that somebody has a job in perpetuity. not everybody is watching me from the US, but most US states have a concept of at-will employment, which means you can be fired at any time, for whatever reason, with no notice. And so an agreement isn't going to limit that, but it's also going to make sure that everybody is on the same page. And it really can make a difference with the morale and the expectation setting between a entrepreneur, a small business owner, and their first employee, or any number of employees they have. It makes sure that people are on the same page and make sure that people have an idea of where they stand and where they should be interacting with people and how they should be interacting with people. It's just a really good starting point. It's no different than an employment letter or something like that for a W-2 job. A 1099 should still have that agreement. And putting in there that, it's going to be reviewed every 3 months, every 6 months, every year, to give both sides an opportunity to give feedback, right? Because just because you're the hiring person doesn't mean you're the easiest person to work with either. Right. You've been your own boss for how long? And now you're going to have somebody there helping you. You might not have all the answers either, right? You might not have all the perfect work ethics that managing somebody would need. And I'm making some jokes here, but an agreement protects both sides. So make sure that if you are hiring somebody, that you make sure to have that agreement. And if it's something that you aren't comfortable writing, by all means, there are human resource lawyers out there, but there's also a lot of options out there for templated agreements. So I would look at both of those opportunities. However, I'm also giving you options that aren't hiring me. So I would appreciate it if you would hire me and I could help you write out those agreements and make sure that you are protected and your employees are protected. It will really make a difference. And I look forward to hearing from you if that's something that you want me to help you with. So we have about 30 seconds here. So I'm going to wrap up and say, my name is Sarah. This is HRSOS, and I look forward to having each of you watch my next episode. And you may or may not be watching this on Labor Day, but if you are, I hope you have a great day of non-labor. And if you do have to labor on today, I hope that it is slow and calm for you on this holiday. Have a great day and see you later. Hello, I'm Sarah, and I'm with Off the Beaten Path Consulting. I'm an HR fixer, so I fix HR problems for businesses and individuals that they don't have the capacity or the ability to fix themselves. So we are heading into fall now, and as we know, that brings kids back to school and football and apples and all of the fun things. And we're getting ready for some holidays too. But in the meantime, we have a lot of amazing shows to watch as you start cuddling on the couch and the temperatures get a little cooler. So watch everything you can here on the Creative Spirit channel, but most of all, check out my show, which is HR Navigating the Chaos. I answer all of those HR questions that you have, and you might be afraid to ask the people that you work with or your colleagues. Check out my show, but also check out my QR code, which is up in the corner if you want to have a one-on-one to talk about your specific needs more in depth. Thank you and have a wonderful fall.